Frank Miller, who's definitely lost a lot of clout with the collapse of the Spirit. They're still trying to get the next Sin Cities coming. Apparently is interested in doing Buck Rogers in the 20th century, so we should see that. Resident Evil 4 is being planned right now. Now there's a rumor that Mila will not be in Resident Evil 4, but she will show up again in a possible 5th film. So that Paul Anderson is in the process of writing that, may direct it, may not. Castlevania is being done, and as I mentioned earlier, the Green Hornet film that was apparently shelved, Seth Rogen has said no, it's still happening. It's just, it might be delayed, but they are going to do a Green Hornet film, and Seth Rogen will be playing the Green Hornet. Yes?
Isn't there a rumor that Stephen Chow is going to be?
That was the rumor. And see, basically, what I heard was that Stephen Chow may have dropped out, which is what caused the delays. The delay is it canceled, whatever. And so that's kind of where they are right now. But apparently, they are committed to doing the film. If not him, someone else will be involved. So it should be interesting. Now, of course, my first concern was, all right, Seth's a funny enough guy. You know, if you saw Zack and Miri, funny enough film. But this is not the dashing guy in the dark the dark jacket and the hat and all of that. I'm going, this is not, and apparently they are going to play it up as a comedy, so it won't be the serious. I looked at it and I know he had action in Pineapple Express, but you don't look at him and see superhero. Now, then again, Green Hornet wasn't supposed to be a superhero per se. He was more of a avenging crusader type. So we'll see how that comes across. One thing I am sad about, because I was curious to see how this would happen, apparently the remake of RoboCop got shelved. So whether or not that'll see classic old science fiction film, When Worlds Collide. They're talking about redoing that one. For those, plug your ears back there, PlayStation people. There's apparently going to be a Gears of War movie in the development stage right now. So. And for those of you that really want to go back, Harry Hamlin, Loincloth, and all, Clash of the Titans apparently is in the process of being remade. So you can definitely look forward to that. Now, here's one that I'm really happy to talk about. Now, you have to remember with this one, yes, there's been an official film sequel, but on the Showtime cable network, there were 2 sequels before they did the official sequel, and I'm talking about Universal Soldier.
Nice.
Now, they've got a new Universal Soldier in the works, and Jean-Claude is indeed back.
Yes!
And apparently they were trying to get Dolph Lundgren. And apparently Dolph wasn't too interested in doing the film because, from what we're told, he said it was a little more than a glorified cameo. And he said, Jean-Claude may be okay with that, but I think, I need something more. Now, Stallone has got a film coming out called The Expendables, and I'm really intrigued by this. He's in it, and apparently he's getting a lot of people. He apparently wanted and got Dolph to sign up to appear with him in this film. It's kind of like, from what I understand, it's kind of like the old Dirty Dozen. They take the group of the old so-called washed-up guys who they don't care whether they live or die for this impossible mission. So you're going to see a lot of the older action stars apparently, pushing this thing. Well, I was told last week that Dolph said, you know what, I can still do Universal Soldier, I'm in.
Nice.
So hopefully we'll get to see, even though I thought he was dead at the end of the last film and in a wood chipper and so on and so forth, but as we know in Hollywood, no one ever stays dead. Now, I can't mention Jean-Claude Van Damme without mentioning his alter ego, and does anyone remember who that might be?
Kyle.
No, not character. Think back in the day when Jean-Claude was ruling the box office. Whenever he had a film, another person would have a film soon after, hot on his heels. Huh? Not Chuck Norris.
Oh, Steven Seagal.
Yeah.
There you go. Steven Seagal. Now, both of them have been languishing mainly in the direct-to-DVD bin, although I understand Jean-Claude's new film, JCVD, is actually getting, released in the art house circuit, it's been getting a lot of praise, and apparently the gist of it is what would happen if a normal guy who plays an action hero as put into a scenario where the action hero would do one thing and he's forced to do something. What were you saying?
This one, Plug-in is playing tonight at the Victoria Film Festival.
Yeah, and it is supposed to be quite good, actually. It is supposed to be very good. Anyway, Seagal says, I think it's time for a comeback. I think it's time to get away from these direct-to-DVD films. And what is my most marketable franchise? Anybody?
Under Siege.
That's right. Now, not just Under Siege 3. Under Siege 3 with maybe an alien story or subplot to it.
Nice.
Because you all know that when the machine gun goes empty, you want to see them doing Aikido on these gigantic aliens.
Yes.
And you know the sad thing, if you put enough of a budget behind it, you can go, I'll see that. This is so stupid, he's going to chop an 8 tentacle. Yeah, I'll watch it, why not? It's Friday night. And if you haven't been freaked out enough yet, American McGee has got an Alice movie in development stages right now. Toy Story 2 and 3, 1, 2, and 3 are coming. 1 and 2 coming again as 3D films, 3 being released straight in 3D. Now, here's an idea of how screwed up the economy has gotten. Disney said no to doing Chronicles of Narnia 3. Yeah, they said, no, we're not interested. $200 million price tag, we're passing on this. It was shopped around Hollywood. Now, the last 2 films were huge hits. You would think, well, geez, why wouldn't you want to do this? Because, you know, think about it. If you're giving up this film, you might be giving up the franchise and rights toward future films, and they passed on it. 20th Century Fox said, we'll take it. So now you can have a look and see the Voyage of the Dawn Treader coming at soon. I mentioned Shrek 4 and the Harry Potter film. Now, if this works, this is going to be one of the biggest moves in Hollywood history. They told us that, you know, last year when they delayed Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, everybody was like, oh God, no. Now, what the plan is you're going to get one release this summer, and then Part 1 of Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows released at Christmas time. They're going to try to release 2 films 6 months apart. The final Harry Potter book is being broken down into 2 films because they decided that the book, you couldn't condense it for film. And they said, we're just going to shoot 2 movies. Now, of course, there's also the aspect of it increases your box office. But they are going to, if all works, they're going to do that. And, you know, I would not be shocked if it could be rather interesting to see how they market this. If they try to do right before you see Half-Blood Prince, here's a trailer for Deathly Hallows. You have to be very careful not to give anything away, but then again, if you're seeing the movies, you've read the book, so you know what's coming. Beverly Hills Cop 4 is in the working stages now. Now, supposedly, Judge Reinhold's character is killed, and he doesn't even appear in it, and Axel comes in. Now, this thing has come into so many different modes. One mode that I heard was that literally Hollywood and the studio executive put notes saying, we would like this to be a family-friendly comedy. Now, another one said, well, okay, we'll bring Axel in, and apparently the script was little more than a recycled 80s action film. It looked more like, let's take this and call it Beverly Hills Cop 4 rather than writing something original. And of course, as I said, Rosewood, Taggart, Ronnie Cox, all those people apparently are not in it. No Bronson Pinchot is Surge, none of that. Now that could change, because apparently Jerry Bruckheimer is back involved. And he's like, we're going to do this, let's do this right, and you don't really launch this, because Eddie's basically languishing and doing family comedies right now, so they're thinking we can get him back to do